meeting of the Executive Committee of the Board of Trustees of the State Bar of California to order. I'd like to remind everyone, both panelists and members of the public, that this meeting is being recorded. Please call the roll.
Duran.
Here.
LeBron. Manning.
Here.
Saleg.
You're muted.
You're on mute. Mr.
You're
Saleg.
muted, Sean.
Here.
Steinbrecher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. So this will be a closed session as provided for in Business and Professions Code 6026.7 subparagraph C3 and Government Code section 1126 subparagraph C1 to discuss agenda item 2A, action on the May 28, 2020 recommendation of the subcommittee of the Committee of Bar Examiners regarding partial invalidation of an applicant's test product due to printing error. So we will be going into closed session shortly, but before we do, if there are any members of the public who wish to make public comment, you will be able to do so now before we go into closed session. Let's see. So the way we will handle public comment is that bar staff will attempt to call members of the public in the order in which they appear. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. To facilitate the hearing of as many members of the public as possible, I encourage you not to repeat points that were made previously. You will be notified while you were speaking when you have 30 seconds left to conclude your comments. At 3 minutes of speaking, we will turn off your microphone and call the next member of the public. And to allow the Executive Committee the time needed to deliberate today, in closed session, we will not be able to hear more than a maximum of 3 minutes of public comment. So the logistics are as follows. For those of you who are participating by Zoom video, you should have a function for virtually raising your hand by activating the hand icon, which should appear at the bottom center of your screen. If you wish to make a public comment, please click on that and the State Bar staff will call you in the order that they identify your raised hand. For those of you who are participating by phone, you may virtually raise your hand by pressing *9. That's the star key, then the number 9. And again, doing so will alert staff that you would like to comment, and bar staff will call on you and open your microphone so that you can address the board. Bar staff will call members of the public in the order that they have identified by raised hands and will enable the microphones of the speakers. Due to time restrictions, we cannot allow more than 3 minutes for each speaker. And if there are too many members of the public seeking to make public comments, there may not be 3 minutes available, but we will adjust that as we see how many people are interested in speaking today. So with that, Mr. McLeod, do we have members of the public who would like to speak?
It does not appear that we have anybody who is interested in making public comment today.
All right, we'll allow a minute or so in case anybody is trying to access the icon either by Zoom or by telephone. So we'll take a brief quiet break here.
Maybe out of an abundance of caution, just to ensure that anybody who wants to participate can. I see 2 phone numbers, and those are the only 2 names that I don't recognize as either State Bar staff or somebody who is not a member of the public. I wonder if we could open up the microphone for the phone numbers just to ensure that if they're having trouble accessing the hand raise function through their phone, that we can just give them the opportunity to confirm that they're not interested in making a public comment. Would that be appropriate?
Sure, That's fine.
If we could. The first phone number there, is dropped. The phone number there, 213-503. There's an icon.
It's Audrey. I'm
Okay,
with the state.
I was wondering if maybe it was staff. Okay, terrific, thank you. So it looks like we're good. Even the phone numbers were not members of the public.
Okay, well, in that case, we will go into closed session. I will return to open session at the conclusion of the closed session, but only to formally adjourn the meeting.
All right. And everybody on the call, you should have received a link to closed session. Everybody who needs to be in closed session, I sent that about 3 minutes ago.
Okay.
Be in your inbox.
Can you hear me?
I can. I can't see anyone though. Oh wait, start video. There we go.
There we go. All right.
I think pretty sure a quorum is a simple majority, but we do need one other person.
Is Ruben coming on? Debbie, aha. All right, so we have a quorum, Dag? Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Never mind. Ruben's here.
There we go.
All right. All right, we are back in open session of the Executive Committee meeting. Please call the roll.
Duran.
Here.
LeBron. Manning.
Here.
Saleg.
Here.
Steinbrecher.
There. Is there any other business in open session from the Executive Committee? Hearing none, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Ledge liaisons, I'll be opening up that conference line in just a moment. Thanks very much.